Hello, thanks for joining me, astrologer Patrick Arundell, for your astrological overview for week commencing the 21st of July. This week begins with Uranus, the planet of freedom, starting a backward journey, which will last for 5 months. For all of us, we need to understand our need for space and our need for commitment, and sometimes these two things can get out of balance. And in the sign of Aries, of course, Uranus has been particularly unsettling, especially for world affairs, because in this part of the horoscope, Uranus is quite a potent influence, and it can be a kind of do it now, think about it later influence. So when it comes to any situation where you feel that your space or freedoms or rights are being compromised, do think carefully about the implications of any acts that you take. Now, the first 3 days of this week also see Mercury and Pluto continuing an opposition. Mercury is about how we think, it's about our intellect, it's about how we process information, but it is in the very subjective Cancer, at least for Mercury. And Pluto, of course, is very much a planet to do with power, and it's in Capricorn, which points towards orthodoxy. This can set up some power battles. And if you are going into a discussion and it is with someone that you don't agree with, you need to make sure that your facts are absolutely right, because although Cancer can be a very kindly influence, because Mercury is much happier in an earth or an air sign, in this watery location, it can just bend our perspective and make us feel that we see things in a different way from how they really are, and that's just something you need to be aware of. However, at the same time, do resist anyone who's trying to push their point of view on you in an unfair or really forceful way, because that's possible too. Now on Tuesday, the Sun moves into Leo. Now, as you can see, this is bringing an instant smile to my face, because this is where the Sun is ruled. Leo is the Sun zodiac sign, and this is a wonderful place for the Sun to work through for the next 30 days. It's also going to be combining with Jupiter, the planet of growth, hope, optimism and good fortune, which moved into this location for a 12-month stay last week. And the conjunction between the two can stimulate a lot of very good things indeed, especially on the back of the new moon in Leo, which occurs on Saturday. But there is another change which occurs this week that we need to be mindful of, and that sees Mars edging towards the end of Libra, where it's been for the last 8 months, and it starts to forge a dissociate square with both the Leo Sun and also Jupiter, and then on Friday it's an exact square. Well, there's a degree or two in it, so the orb is not absolutely bang on, but this is something that can see us be very optimistic, because when the Sun squares up with Jupiter, we can think that everything is possible. We can also be very generous. Better to be generous to a fault than mean to a fault, I always think. But when Mars and Jupiter go at right angles to one another, there can be a sense of excess, of thinking that nothing is beyond us, when sometimes we need to be aware that if we cross a busy road without looking, that's a dangerous thing to do. And just feeling that I'm going to get through this because you tell yourself that, it ain't necessarily going to work. So any risks that are taken as this week draw to a close, especially speculation to do with money, to do with your love life, to do with a small business venture, to do with your home or property, you need to think through the implications, even though the vibes generally are enormously positive for us all. Thank you for joining me, good luck, and goodbye for now.